So right here, I'm just making some spaghetti. These are some vegan grounds by Gardein. So I'm just sauteing them a little bit with some grapeseed oil. Of course, I seasoned it already. So I'm just kind of mixing all the seasonings in real good so that way I can have it real seasoned and it has some flavor. So that's all I'm doing right now. And then over here, I've already cooked my noodles. I put them to the side. They're still hot, so they're not, sticking together right now. So I wanted to take them out as soon as they got a little soft because I didn't want them to cook and get hard because they're still going to have to cook a little bit once I do what I have to do with this. What I like to do when I am cooking my spaghetti, especially with these grounds, since this is not like real meat where you can pretty much, it produces its own like little fat or whatever, I like to pour a little bit of water in so they won't get hard at the bottom of the pan. And this is just basically like me creating my own grease for this, so that way it can just kind of cook, get a little soft, still have texture, but I want it to cook real nice, not be hard and stuff. So once this cooks real good the way I want it to, then I can do my my veggies, which is just my peppers, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. But I like my stuff to cook separate, and at least that way it tastes pretty good. So right now I'm gonna let this cook for a while, and then I'm going to not really for a while, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, maybe for a little bit. Then I'm gonna take them off, and then I'm gonna put my peppers in with it, and then I'm gonna let it cook a little bit. I may also go ahead and do my peppers too, because sometimes they can cook a little bit good too. Hold on. That's the only thing about filming with one hand. It's hard to get all your stuff on the side. Maybe I can, yeah. Multitask. Okay, so that worked out perfectly. But I thought it was gonna knock my whole pan over. So go ahead and mix that in. And a little bit of juices from the peppers and everything. It look good already, y'all. And I am the type that likes to mix stuff like 1,000 times. Blue Bonnet has finally came out with a plant butter. This is my first time trying it. It is keto friendly and gluten free. I like to have a lot of gluten free food items in my home. And yes, they are a little bit more expensive, seems like, when you're getting like a lot of gluten free stuff. But I'm so used to my food costing more than it was when I was eating meat and everything. So at this point, nothing surprises me, but I wouldn't go like ridiculous. If it's something that I can kind of hold off on, I'll hold off on it. So now I'm just getting a little bit of butter so that way my peppers and stuff can still cook. So that's all the butter that I really like to use. And as y'all can see, I don't even cook with salt. So this butter is like the most salt that I will actually cook with. Let me see if it even has, yeah, it has salt in it. But that's the most salt that I cook with. So I like for my butter to get nice and distributed all through here. So that way everything can be good and distributed. I might put a little bit more in there, because sometimes I be feeling like it'd be enough, but it might not. It's not enough. So I'm gonna just put like another thing in here. Because this butter, to say that it's plant butter, not saying that stuff don't have flavor, but it has flavor to say that it's just a plant butter, and it has like a lot of flavor. So it's like, don't think just because it's plant butter it don't have no flavor, because it does. It really does. So added an extra few just in case. I need some more, so I'm good with that. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my butter in and everything. So all of that, and it smells good already, y'all. I mean, it smells real good. So that way I can have enough of my stuff. So I'm gonna allow for this to cook for a few. Let it cook real good. And I'm gonna turn down my stove light, and then that's about it. And then I'm gonna check this probably back in like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we will see how it looks. Okay, you guys, so I've already let my ground sit for a while, so now I'm going to add the pasta sauce. And I rinsed off my noodles just to get any additional excess film or whatever was on it that normally just kind of like rises to the surface when you first boil it in the pan. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my spaghetti sauce. And I'm gonna add all of it because these noodles, they absorb so much of the sauce, so I ain't even got time. So next what I'm going to do is go ahead and mix everything together. Mix everything together real good in the pan. Mix everything. Ooh, it's so hard mixing with one gosh darn hand. Oh my god. Trying to get it at a good angle. Okay. It's almost there, y'all. I like my stuff to be mixed evenly. Mixed evenly. That way when it cooks, it's pretty good. Okay. So now that I have mixed this thoroughly, I'm gonna allow for it to cook some, and it looks good already, y'all. So I don't know about y'all, but I do love to put sugar in my spaghetti, so I am gonna put some sugar in my spaghetti. I'm gonna put quite a bit because sometimes it takes a minute for it to actually distribute through and cook through. So I'm gonna put, and plus with this having a handle on it, it takes a little bit longer to actually get in there. So I've got everything mix it, and then I'm gonna allow this to sit for 5 minutes. I'm just wanting to make sure that everything cooks evenly, so at least that way before I add the noodles I can add it and then everything will be good. So I'm gonna turn my pan up some, and then I will come back in like 5 minutes because this thing doesn't take long to heat up and start boiling. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it just cook for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add my noodles after that, and then we're gonna let this sit and cook for like 10 minutes. And then while that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add my croissant rolls that I did buy, and I just bought the little $2 croissant thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop those out and put those in my pan and get those cooking, and then after that we'll be able to eat. Okay, so I've already rolled up my croissants, and I did go to Walmart to buy me some more garlic paste. So I'm gonna use this to put on my rolls. I'm just gonna put like a little bit because this is very potent, and let them cook just like that. And then once they actually cook and everything, I'm going to put some melted butter on it. Put some melted butter on it. And y'all, I can cook, but I don't, now that I finished school, I'll have a little bit more time. But I try to sometimes cook where it'll last me for a couple of days, because when I'm not in the mood to cook or anything, I just be wanting to just throw stuff in my air fryer. But I try to make sure I at least try to cook a little bit. Try to cook a little bit and spread it out, because sometimes that stuff will sit in one area. So then that way I can just drop all my stuff. So my oven is already preheated. So I'm gonna throw them in there and let them cook. And as y'all can see, everything has come to a boil. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my noodles. So right now, I'm on my way up to ICU. I'm about to do some treatments to help out one of the therapists up there because she's a little swamped and busy. So I will talk to you guys a little bit later, but today's been pretty productive. Nothing too bad, but we're getting there. So I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. Hey you guys, I have finally made it home. I did not get a chance to vlog right after I got off in the car because, as you guys know, we are in this black ice stage, so it's like extremely cold, and my car needed to sit for a minute to warm, and then it was dark too, so you know I don't play that vlogging at night. Some people can get on here and do that, but not me. But now that I made it home to Alabama, I wanted to update you guys on what went on at work after I showed you guys the last little clip of me pushing my cart to help another therapist with their get a gas. Also, the floor that I had today, it was just basically like, I was busy today, but I got finished a little early because I started early, so I had a bunch of time to kind of help out my other co-workers. So it was like me being able to help everybody kind of helped the day kind of go by, even though everybody was like super busy. But if they were behind on treatments, you know, needed O2 rounds done, or just needed something done that a patient may have called for, like a PRN treatment or something like that, I was able to help them, and everybody else was just pretty much helping everybody. So today went really good, even though sometimes on the weekend it's trash. But today was pretty good. I did work yesterday. I didn't really get a chance to get any footage of yesterday because it was like super busy. And then you guys know, if you guys work at a hospital already, y'all know like during the week it's just super busy because there's like everybody there, students, administration, just every single person you can think of that works at the hospital, they are there Monday through Friday. But either night shift or the weekends is so much calmer because nobody's there, everybody has gone home for the day, and you can kind of breathe a little bit. So today was pretty laid back and it wasn't as bad, even though we were kind of short today. But with me working today, I made a 5th therapist, and just to put a small little I ain't even gonna say a disclaimer, but I'm gonna just put a small notation in here. Let's just do a round of applause for me, because now I can call myself an official respiratory therapist. Even though I just have my CRT right now, I am studying to get my RRT, but just the point that I can now call myself an official respiratory therapist, that just, it says a lot right now. It says a lot, and I'm taking it all in, you know what I'm saying? So just want to take that in. But again, the shift went pretty good and I was able to get a lot done, but I was just not able to record anything because, like I had told y'all in the last vlog, I don't even know if I stated this, but the new hospital that I'm working at is a lot bigger than my other job, where I'm able to actually sit you guys down, talk to y'all, and show y'all a little bit of what I do throughout the course of the day, depending on the type of patients that I have. So if I could show y'all a Vapotherm or a BiPAP or a just any other machines that I can show y'all, I try to show y'all, and I have a little bit more leniency to show y'all because I can pull meds. I could do a little bit more, but I'm independent at my new job as well. But the only difference is I just can't pull medicine. I can't check any equipment out. I can't do any of that because I'm still in the system as a student therapist. So right now, with my Georgia license, I'm still waiting on that because it's such a stricter
it's just a drawn out process that takes a little bit longer than most registration of licenses in different states. Like for my Alabama license, everything is online. So when I did my license online, it came back the next day where I got notification from the people that deal with that, and then they just needed like my official transcript. So when I did the transcript through Parsement, where you can send your transcript electronically, I was able to send that over that morning when I got the email, and probably no later than a couple of hours after lunchtime, I received an email with my license number, how to access everything and to print it off and everything. And that was within a day of me taking my board exam, passing it, and then sending them the information that I had my test scheduled anyway. So there's two different licenses. Like I did not apply for my CRT license. I applied for my temporary license, because even though the process is probably the same, but because I'm still a new graduate, the temporary license is what I applied for, which was appropriate at the time because I am a new grad. So at this point, my temporary license is basically a license that I can practice under as an RRT, but it just restricts me from being able to be a charge therapist and to work the ICUs by myself. I believe I have to finish reading that email, but it had like a tiny disclaimer in there where you couldn't do certain stuff. But what else? But other than that, I got my license back a lot faster for Alabama than I did for Georgia, because I'm still waiting on that. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from being able to transition over to an actual therapist, because my license is still pending. So I have to wait on that first before I can actually be able to pull my own meds, help out in ICU, and be able to scan things out when I have to grab equipment for the patients without having to grab the therapist on the other side of the hospital to come all the way over here to scan out some stuff. So other than that, I think it went well today. Like the only thing that happened was just the rapid that was called for the patient that I had that morning that did well, and then all of a sudden he just kind of crumped. But he ended up coming back as far as, back to his baseline. He didn't code or anything, but they wanted to call a rapid to try to see about him before it even happened. But we stayed with him for a while. He returned back to his baseline, and then we made sure that it stayed that way for an extra 5 to 10 minutes. And then he returned with no issues. And then we went ahead and, went to make our afternoon rounds. So if the nurse needed to call us or if anything went wrong, they could just call us and we could come back. So after that, I want to say it went well. It was nothing really major that took place. So it was like after that, I did my 4 o'clock treatments, and those were like the last treatments. I only really had one PRN treatment that was called in by one of the nurses, and I want to say that was it. The only thing new that I did today that didn't happen yesterday, the patient that I had to be put on a BiPAP, so I was able to set that up, put my own settings in there, and then after that we got a blood gas, and then we just kept her on those same settings. So I'm sure they're probably going to repeat another gas tonight. So depending on how she does on it, if the confusion that she's experiencing comes down a little bit, then they'll be able to kind of change those settings on the BiPAP and maybe even be able to take her off and just have her wear it at night. Because she, from what I saw in her history, she did have some diagnosis of suspected COPD, but she also has that Pick-Wickens syndrome. If you guys haven't already started talking about that, she has an extended neck where it's a little bit bigger. You can kind of compare it to like a bull neck, because they try to say that that's another thing that can cause obstructive sleep apnea as well, where people that have to be on the BiPAP at night, because it causes huge issues where you can be retain a lot of CO2 and it causes issues, and then we have to come in and try to fix it, depending on how bad it is. Other than that, she did well on that. She tolerated the application of the BiPAP, no issues or anything there. What else? I want to say that's about it for right now. It's nothing else that I'm doing tonight, but just really chilling and just just chilling really. I had like a small snack, so I'm not really hungry. I have some snacks up here that I brought from home, so I'm going to go ahead and just snack on that. Maybe get me something to drink a little bit later, and then take a shower and just chill and just binge watch some shows tonight until I fall asleep. I don't have to work until maybe, it depends on what days I decide to pick up here since my license came back. So I'm going to pick up a few shifts while I'm here for a couple of weeks before I go back home to start studying for my clinical sims. I am going to do a sit down video on how I studied for my test, what was my process and everything like that leading up to the day that I took my test, because I do want to share that with you guys, because I didn't really vlog too much before my journey of taking the exam because I was a little nervous having that on film, even though I would have got on here and told you guys whether I had passed or failed, but I was kind of already under a lot of pressure, and then I had other stuff going on, so picking up my phone was like the last thing that was on my mind. So I did say that the next time I did pick up my phone, I wanted to come on here and let you guys know if I had passed or failed it, so I can do like a detailed vlog on how I studied for the test and prepared myself the night before. So right now I'm just kind of like able to ease my mind a little bit because I don't have to study every day. Because if you guys are already in the program or are getting ready to start, some of y'all that's already been studying, sometimes if you try to take a little free time, you feel guilty for doing something for yourself. So you feel like that time you're trying to catch some sleep or just watch a couple of shows just to relax your mind. You feel guilty because you feel like you should be studying. But now that I don't have to do that as much because I've gotten the biggest part out of the way, so it's like it feels weird not having to turn in homework, not having to study for an exam, you know, that was given to us like every week. Because I want to say I had at least 4 exams or maybe 3 or 4 exams a week when we were in class doing our classes in person before our classes went online the last semester. So it just feels strange, and I'm definitely trying to get used to it, but I'm also just excited that I got that big part out the way because I was so nervous preparing for it. That's why I was like, I couldn't even pick up my camera, because when I say I had anxiety out the roof, and it wasn't even the testing anxiety, it was just the point that I couldn't believe that I had graduated from school. I couldn't believe that I finished school because I had been in school for so long. So it's just like overwhelming. So with all of that, graduating, then preparing to take my boards, and then preparing to pack up to move back home, all of that within itself was just mind-blowing. So it was like I wanted to pick up my camera but couldn't, if that, you know, of course it makes sense, because I mean, so most definitely didn't, you know, want to pick up my camera because I didn't want to get on here and have to tell you guys that I failed, because I know I get on here trying to do videos about, you know, how to do mechanical ventilation, ABGs, and just trying to put in like that teaching scene in there where I can try to explain how I do things, how I study, how all of that stuff. So I just felt like, how can I teach you guys if I'm out here failing? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how I felt. But now that I have passed my exam and set a goal to pass it on my first try, it makes me feel a whole lot better and trusting myself to teach you guys information that helped me learn. So that way, whatever I learned can kind of rub off on you, or in a way, you can kind of get some of what I've used and kind of turn it into your own way of learning, into the system that works for you. So that is what I try to do. I never try to make somebody learn my way. I rather for you to see how I, you know, study, what I use, and what type of methods I use, so that way you can customize it into your own method of studying. So that way what works for me, you can kind of tweak it and make it work for you, or maybe it'll just give you an idea of how to study for this stuff. Because like I've always said, and I can't stress it enough, respiratory is a hard program. It doesn't matter where you go and take it. Respiratory is hard. And then we have all these other, we have literally two board exams that is very, very hard. Like, it's very hard, even though I passed my test, but it was hard because it's just all the information that you're learning throughout the program. You have to whip it into shape to fit the needs of either Kettering or Lindsey Jones or whatever study material that your school is using for you guys to pass your board. So it's just like it's a huge critiquing in that whole situation versus how you get through your program and then how you prepare for your board. So it's going to be different. It's going to be different. And that is where the anxiety sits in, because you're trying to mimic how they want you to prepare for boards, but it's all on how you retain information and how you study. So that's like a big part of what I'm going to talk about in the sit down vlog about how I prepared for my boards. As far as work goes, nothing changed. Like I said, I had to put the lady on BiPAP because of what the doctor saw when he evaluated her during his rounds. So I was able to put her on that. Nothing else really happened, just typical stuff that I show you guys when I am at work. But now, like I said, that I have my CRT, I'm going to be able to show you guys a little bit more because I'm going to have more access to things. I'm going to have more access to do stuff like intubating outside of clinicals. I got to assist in a bronch at my job that I just left yesterday. So of course I couldn't put that on here, but that was something new outside of what I've never gotten to do, because doing and watching are two totally different things. And I was scared out my wits. Like, my literal butt cheeks were jumping out my pants the whole time, twerking on their own. So it was like shaking in my boots type of scene with that. But what else? Other than that, I want to say I had a pretty productive weekend, and I'm also happy to be home. I can't wait to come back home. I've enjoyed having my own apartment, so I want to, come on home because I've served my purpose of what I needed to do down there, and it's time for me to come home, time for me to get back on my normal routine and start, a fresh start on improving my life, and just not saying that I'm not happy, but how you've worked so hard to get somewhere, and now that you've achieved that goal, you can kind of start to new beginnings start to open up, where you can finally just do what you wanted to do and be more at ease because you actually have a stable career. So it's like new career, new things, new goal, new everything. So I'm just real happy about it. Like, I know you guys, I've read the comments, the congrats and everything, and I just want to say, I don't care how y'all feeling right now, but I just love to give thanks to my subscribers, because some of y'all been with me since my vegan videos when they were kind of crappy. So to get to the point where my vlogs are getting better, the way the content is being, recorded, and me just feeling more comfortable being on here to talk to y'all just makes me feel really good. And then it's reaching out to different people that have subscribed to my channel. They're taking the time to watch stuff and comment, and it's just, I can't thank you guys enough, because like I say, some people get to a certain amount of subscribers and they forget the ones that got them there, because your channel would not be popping if it wasn't for the people that subscribed to your channel, shared and commented and just showed you mad love. So it's like I try to get on here to continue showing y'all love, no matter if it's a 2-minute vlog, second vlog. I love to thank y'all, because you guys have brought my channel to where it's reaching other people and it's helping other people and inspiring other people. And I get so many DMs on Instagram of people just saying how I inspire them to do stuff, even make a channel, when it was at the point where I didn't even feel comfortable enough to make a channel. So it's like I have to always come on here and thank y'all, because like I said, y'all have helped me build my confidence with coming on YouTube, recording myself, and just making different types of material on here, because I never want to make the same material that everyone else is making on here. I want it to be different every time. So I always try to take time to thank y'all, because I just love the love that y'all show me, and I always try to show love back and comment back every time. So that's definitely something that I really do appreciate with you all. But y'all know I can chitter chatter all day, because I love to talk now, especially now that I'm on here doing my thing and y'all are loving it. So I'm going to cut this scene right here short, even though this is probably like a 20 minute scene. But I'm going to try to cut it down. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to end today's vlog for today. And then I will probably pick up my phone tomorrow and just kind of film a little bit of Christmas is what we're going to do. But other than that, can't wait to upload this vlog and my sit down vlog, because I've been preparing for that. So I'm going to get ready for bed, and then I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I hope you guys were able to spend the holidays with your family and be safe in this weather, because this is like some cold I ain't never seen before a day in my life. So So you guys be careful out here in this weather, and driving as well, because luckily I had a safe ride. I didn't have to worry about any slipping of any ice or anything, and I just had a really safe, blessed ride. So you guys be safe, keep warm. And if you guys, again, I always try to say this, if you guys have any questions of what you guys would want me to answer in my sit down vlog when before I post it, let me know and I will answer those questions, because I want to try to do like a Q&A and a sit down, because I've gotten a lot of questions as well under my post that I made telling you guys that I had passed my exam. So I will re-answer those questions, because I don't like to write really long responses. I rather just explain it, because sometimes it's just different answering it on here where you hear it out my mouth versus me typing on the thing. So I'm going to re-answer those questions on the Q&A. So if you guys have any additional questions that you want me to answer on that video, please, you can inbox me. If you don't want it to be public, y'all can comment under this video, and then I will answer it in that vlog. And I'm not really sure how long that sit down is going to be, because like I said, I can talk, and like this proves a point, because I had been into this vlog and I'm still talking. So I don't know how long that vlog is going to be, but I'm going to definitely try to pinpoint everything in the shortest time possible, where you guys can be like, you know, y'all got a lot from it. Like my other Q&A videos you guys liked as well. So I'm going to try to be very detailed in that sit down video, because I'm off now and I have more time. So I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm going to try to have this vlog up maybe by the end of tomorrow, maybe by Monday, hopefully, because I'm not going to do my sit down video until the middle of the week. I was supposed to have it up this weekend, but again, you know, things happened last week where I couldn't do it just then. But most definitely going to try to have it up at least by Thursday or Friday. It depends, but I'm gonna try to have this vlog up by Monday. So happy holidays, and I hope you guys be safe, and I will touch bases with you guys tomorrow.